This is Mark Fidel. We're in DC Music in Blaine, Minnesota. I now have the bass player extraordinaire, Richard Sanders from the Scott Holt Band. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So tell me, what do you think of this new record? This new tribute. What's the name of the new record? I forgot to ask Scott that.
From Lettsworth to Legend.
That's right, he said it. I didn't ask him, but he said it, people. I didn't ask, but he said it. Because he's a good promoter, that Scott Holt.
That Scott Holt.
As opposed to the other Scott Holt.
I know that one pretty well. Okay. But the record to me is incredible because, like Scott said, the way we cut it, we went in and just the three of us, it was pretty much like we approached playing in front of a crowd, the audience, instead of being in the studio. So the record came off us. I mean, when you hear the record, it's us. That's just three-piece. There's no overdubs. There's no choir in the background. It's just raw bass, drums, and guitar. And it's one of those. It's like Scott said, when I first got the tracks and sat down to listen to them. Of course, I listened to them as the bass player. Right. So I'm listening to all the bass.
And it was way out front, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Well, because the bass player helped produce the record. We did it at his house, which was great because we could bounce things off of each other. He would go, well, maybe try this feel, and I'd try it, and it would work great, and it was just magical, really, absolutely magical. Yeah, and I just had a blast.
Cool. And what are your favorite tracks on it? Do you have any?
I like the Left Eye Jumping. It's great. Let's see. The First Time I Met the Blues, which is really the song that kicks it off, because one of the things I like about that song is that it's the bass line on it is more. It's real simple, real. It's not the walking. It's more like just a kind of bouncy, feel on it. And really, they're all in their own right. They're just incredible songs because, like Scott said, we've been playing together for a while. And Tom is such an incredible drummer and it makes it so easy for a bass player.
Yeah.
So the way I approach the record is the way I approach us live. And that's just hit the pocket real hard and stay there. And God goes crazy. All around us.
Yeah, those guitar players are known for that. Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of their job. So, how long have you been with Scott?
I've been with Scott a little over 6 years.
Okay.
Known him for almost 10 years. He would, when he was playing with Buddy, he would come off the road and to Nashville, to Columbia. He lives in Columbia, south of Nashville. And he would put a band together and play around town. And so his bass player that he used, Chris Kent, who's a monster bass player, whenever he couldn't make the gig, they'd call me. And I would drop things that I had lined up. Sorry guys that I dropped, but I would drop gigs to be able to go play with Scott. Because from the get-go, when you walk on stage with Scott, it's a jam, but it is a tight, a feel, just a passion that I haven't had since I was, when you're a kid and you first start playing music, and it's just like, yes, and here's why I'm playing music. These guys.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, well, they were loose cannons.
They're no Scott Holt band, I'll tell you that.
No, they're not. No, they're not. But and it's the passion of the music is really what put me there, and it was and I'd set the gig, and I did that on and off for a few years, and then finally Scott called me up and asked me, can you go out and tour with him? And of course, I have the bag right there. Took my bass up and I was gone. And then when Tom got with the band, like I said, it was, the first song we played together, the first, measure of music that I played with Tom, it was like that. I just knew that it was going to be just the greatest time. Because like I said, he makes it real easy for a bass player to lock into a song, and he does a lot of magical things on drums that give a bass player. It inspires me to to move out.
Sure. Well, why don't you, for the benefit of our viewers, why don't you give us a little bit of your background musically, where you started out, and how you got into this crazy blues rock world?
Well, I fell into the blues a little bit when I was playing in Austin, Texas in the 80s. You know, the late 70s, early 80s. I was living in Austin. And of course you had Stevie, the Thunderbirds, Joe Ely, Delbert McClinton, a lot of just monster players. And I was playing mainly rock, but I would move to a group that would do blues. And plus, I was doing a lot of some early 50s rock, you know. And you take, for bass, you take that swing feel from early 50s rock and country, and you can lay that right into a blues groove. It's that same swing feel, and the drummer is what will give you that, you know. And that was in Austin, Texas, and I did that for a while. And then me and my wife decided to move. We wanted to make a move. You know, we wanted to go freshen up somewhere. You know, get a fresh start. So we moved to Nashville, and I played with a lot of artists there. And the artist I played with that turned me on to Scott was I was subbing for Shelby Lynn. So I went out with Shelby for almost 2 weeks. And it was the bass player that was playing with Scott in town. And he goes, well, if this works out, you know, I've got a guy in Nashville that I would want you to sub for. So I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I get a call later. He goes, yeah, Friday, can you be there? I went, yeah, what does he play? He goes, oh, blues, don't worry about it. So I walk in, shake Scott's hand, walk up on stage, and play 3.5 hours straight of grabbing your butt and hanging on. It was fantastic. It was a joy.
One of those life-altering moments.
Yeah, it was. And from then on, whenever I got the call to sub, I would tell my wife, okay, I'm going to go get my Scott fix. You know, because most of the bands I was playing with at the time were very well rehearsed. It was rehearsal, go play. Rehearse, go play. With Scott, it's just, let's play. You know, and it will come out, and it does. And it's such a fan. It's like a brotherhood, you know, because we spend so much time together, and the time on stage is magical. It's a true pleasure.
You know, there's a handful of bands around right now, and a few of them out of the southern Texas and Louisiana and Nashville and whatnot. And the one that comes to mind that I think of when I think of Scott is also Chris Gorman.
Oh yeah.
And very much in the same vein of just getting on stage and just going 100 miles an hour from start to finish, never letting up. And it's a sort of just take no prisoners blues rock.
Yes. Oh yeah. As Scott says, grab him by the throat.
Yes, grab him by the throat and don't let go. Yeah. I think that does it.
I do too.
It's a great pleasure.
I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. It's nice to meet you.
Thanks. You too. And thanks for the opportunity.
All right.
I'm pleased to be here.